Hello, I'm your host Luke, and today I'm going to be talking about the Loveland Frogman. And yeah, so these anomalies have shocked and terrified both businessmen, farmers, and police officers, and remain one of the most intriguing cryptids in the United States. The story of these unique creatures begins in May of 1955 on a stretch of road that runs along the Miami River in Claremont County, just on the outskirts of a small town known as Loveland, Ohio. At approximately 3:30 a.m., an unnamed businessman claimed to have witnessed three bipedal quasi-reptilian entities congregating on the side of the road. The man pulled his car to the curb and observed these creatures for what he estimated to be about 3 minutes. During this time, he noticed that these strange beings stood between 3 and 4 feet tall, were covered with leathery skin, and had webbed hands and feet. Their most distinguishing characteristic, however, was their distinctly frog-like heads, which the man claimed bore deep wrinkles where their hair should have been. Just as the man was about to run away, one of the creatures suddenly held what the witness could only describe as a wand above its head, and he further claimed that sparks spewed out of the end of the device, and he left post haste. The next one happened at 1 a.m. on March 3rd, 1972, where nearly 17 years after the first report, where a police officer was traveling alongside Riverside Road, heading towards Loveland, when he saw something that would forever change his life, and the officer claimed that he was driving slowly due to the substantial amount of ice on the road, where he saw what looked like a dog on the curb. Suddenly, the animal darted in front of the cruiser, forcing the officer to slam on the brakes in order to avoid a potential collision with the creature. And once the police cruiser came to a halt, its headlights fell upon the prone animal. At this point, the officer described what literally seems too bizarre to be true. In the span of seconds, this crouched, frog-like creature stood on two legs, stared back at the policeman, and then scrambled over the guardrail and scurried down the embankment, finally disappearing into the Ohio River. The officer in question described the creature as being 3 to 4 feet tall and weighing in the area of 50 to 75 pounds. He also claimed that its skin had a leathery texture and that the animal's features resembled those of a frog or lizard. And another officer investigated the scene later that evening, and he saw no sign of the creature, but reported that there were distinct, quote, scratch marks on the guardrail where the animal purportedly crossed. The second sighting occurred 2 weeks later, while police officer Mark Matthews had an encounter of his own. According to this report, Matthews, while driving into Loveland, spotted what he believed to be an injured animal lying on the pavement. Matthews climbed out of his cruiser with the intention of removing the carcass when the creature abruptly lurched upwards into a, quote, crouched position. Taken back by the frogman's reptilian visage, Matthews unholstered his revolver and took a shot at the creature, which then proceeded to hobble over to the side of the road and step over the guardrail, all the while keeping a watchful eye on the trigger-happy officer. Matthews Frogman marched the officer's description down to the last detail, with the exception of a tail, which was absent in earlier reports. In the years that have followed these events, Matthews changed his tail. He now claims that the animal in question was nothing more than a large reptile which escaped from its owner. He further insists that the only reason he shot at the creature was to help confirm a fellow officer's story. Whether or not Matthew's change of heart was inspired by ridicule or the fading memory of an event from which he was 30 years removed, the fact remains that his own testimony counterindicates his later retraction. In a 2001 email interview, Matthews, now retired, explained that the incident was habitually blown out of proportion. He said that, quote, "It was and is no monster, and it was not leathery or was wet. It was not 3 to 5 feet tall and did not stand erect. The animal that he saw was obviously some type of lizard that someone had as a pet that either got too large for its aquarium, escaped by accident, or they simply got tired of it. It was less than 3 feet in length, ran across the road, and it was probably blinded by his headlights. It presented no aggressive action. He attempted to shoot the creature in order to back up the account of his partner's sighting a few nights prior. But the lizard escaped, most likely to die from its injury from the bitter freezing cold or because somebody shot at it." And then a frogman was spotted mid-August 2016 by Sam Jacobs and his girlfriend while they were playing Pokemon Go in Cincinnati. Okay. This has been your host, Luke. Like this video if you liked it. Merry Christmas. And thanks for watching. Peace out.